Okay guys, I'm going to be making these next set of videos to go over what I'm going to be doing with my Wind-Blue as I progress here. So this is my Wind-Blue. I haven't touched it since I had the issue. Now the issue that I had with it, I bought this 1.5 years ago and was very happy with its performance with the Windy Nation blades. But what ended up happening was I have the older style one before they came out with the stainless steel shaft and before they coated the insides with varnish. With that being said, what ended up happening was this shaft rusted to the bearing. And when I went to take it apart, I couldn't get it apart because the rust caused the bearing to stick to the shaft. And what ended up happening was the coil wants to go with the rotor. If you can't hold them in place and get it to come out, it comes out as a unit. So when I was fighting this to get it apart, when this was rusted to it, what ended up happening was I tore one of the stator wires. So since then I've actually welded it, or not welded, but soldered it back together, and it's working great. So what I plan on doing is getting, that's my son by the way, he's in here with me helping me. I plan on getting this back and running again, and on actually my garage here I plan on mounting it and running AC into the house and having another windmill charging my batteries. So as I go along with this guys, I'll keep you updated and show you what I did to help weatherproof the Wind-Blue Alt. Now again, they've changed a few things. They've come out with the stainless steel shaft. I don't have the stainless steel shaft. And they now coat the whole internals with a varnish, which is brilliant, and I'm going to do something similar. Everything apart here, just wanted to go over everything with you real quick. Now as far as how to take these apart, you could find excellent videos from Jeff from MissouriWindandSolar.com. He tells you how to take them apart, put them back together. He's very insightful as far as his description and his knowledge. So I'm not going into like how to take these apart. You can find that from Jeff. But ultimately, what I want to show you guys is the corrosion that happened from, this is again from one winter now, and you can see my first video of my PMA. I've had it for about 1 year and maybe 3 months now. So it was up for the winter. It did see a whole winter of use. So this is the corrosion that started. You can see that white oxidization. There was quite a bit of it inside. I wire brushed some of it off there. I'm going to clean the whole inside and I'm going to varnish it. Now in Wind-Blue's defense, they learned this was an issue and they fixed it. They now varnish the internals right from the factory for you when you buy it, which I think is brilliant, because in all honesty I wouldn't have had these issues if it was that way from day one, or I would have took it apart and did it myself. That's the other option. So I didn't know any better at the time, so I'm showing you guys so everybody can learn from my mistakes. Ultimately this shaft, I wire brushed it on my wheel, so ultimately this rusted, and that's what rusted to the bearing. Now they've come out with a stainless steel shaft. The other thing about this rotor too is some people are stating that this is a ceramic rotor. It's the ceramic claws, original ceramic claws from GM, with a rare earth magnet in between the claws. You can see it in there. This is a very powerful rotor. Is there better? I'm sure there is. I'm not saying it's the best, but this is a rare earth magnet. I don't think it's fair to Wind-Blue for people to state that's an all ceramic rotor. So I wanted to go on the record and show you that up close and personal. And then this is I got a little bit of corrosion in this. Again, I'm going to clean it and varnish it. But this is what I soldered. You can see a little bit of the solder. See if I can get in close there. Right there. You got to be real careful when you're doing this. That was a delicate process, because if you get the solder on the other wires and you break the varnish, it'll dead short this PMA internally. So ultimately, to get the proper voltage, that has to be done right. So it is done right. I've already tested it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it up, protect it a little bit more, and varnish it. And it should last a while. We'll see. So all right. So I wanted to give you guys an update. I'm trying to avoid buying a new stator, but if I have to, I will. My plans is to get this up and operating this weekend. So I'm going to work on cleaning it right now and then protect it from there, and I'll keep you guys posted as I go progress here. So we got the rectifier out. Basically what I'm going to do for that, I got a trick for that I'll show you here in a second. I use brake parts cleaner on this. It actually cleaned it up pretty nice. Took a little bit of wire brushing to a few areas, so this is what I did to prep it. Brake parts cleaner just, took every impurity off this thing. It worked well. Now I'd be careful where your grease, I had a piece of tissue down in there. You don't want to break out too much of your grease and re-grease that bearing. But the other thing too is I took brake parts cleaner to this and it started to peel some of the paint, but I'm okay with that. It cleaned it right up. I'm going to repaint it anyway. And one thing you want to be careful when you're handling this rotor is you want to keep it on rags or away from, if you have little metal chips on your workbench or anything like that, it's going to stick to this thing and it's a pain in the butt to clean it. I just finished cleaning it, so now I'm going to be real careful with it. And then here's my idea for the rectifier. Now I want to bring 3-phase out of this, and obviously the coil already, or the stator already puts out 3-phase, and then it hits this rectifier. And most internals, you'll have this in there anyway, and all it does is your 3-phase hookups go under these 3 screws. Well, I want to bypass this, right? And there's you could buy things online, but I'm going to make one. So this I'm going to take and I'm going to put in my basement now, so when I bring the 3-phase in, I have my rectifier, and I don't have to buy another rectifier. And here's what I'm going to do to make one is I'm just going to, I have pieces of acrylic and lots of it. I'm going to take this piece of acrylic and I'm just going to trace this rectifier on here. And I'm going to take, this is the thicker one, this will be the base, so now I know this isn't conductive. I'm going to mount it right on the inside. I'm going to sandwich the bolts for the connection between this one and this one. So then basically this will be my rectifier now inside the housing, and I'll have 3 bolts sticking up, and then all I got to do is hook up my 3-phase AC connector to it, and I'm running 3-phase out of my PMA, and I didn't have to buy another rectifier. So I thought I'd share that with you guys, and I'll keep you updated as I progress. Blades. I picked up some aluminum polish for them by Mother's. It's supposed to protect and polish aluminum, so I'm gonna give this a try and see, because after 1 year of the elements, I started to get some of that pitting that aluminum does. So I'm gonna get the shine back in them and see if this stuff protects it. I don't want to varnish or paint these, because if you're not careful, paint does weigh. You could easily knock them out of balance if you have one blade thicker than the other. Even though it's a small amount, it's something I don't want to take a chance with. After the polish, turned out pretty good. I mean, the pitting's still kind of there, because once aluminum pits, that's that. The oxidization takes a section it off, but they turned out pretty good. I'm hoping the polish will stop that pitting, and you can see where I didn't buff too well between the screws of what it used to look like, between the bolts, I mean. So, and there's the finished side. So, fortunately, aluminum it's gonna oxidize. I'm hoping this Mother's polish will protect it over the next winter a little better, and if I have to polish them every year to protect them, then so be it. So. Okay guys, I got everything varnished. I cleaned up my stator pretty good, actually. Turned out pretty good, so we'll see. It's cleared and dried. I end up I got powder all over my hands when I use gloves when I handle the lacquer thinner, but I took lacquer thinner to these edges just so the varnish isn't too thick in these areas when you go to put it back together. And then I varnished the in and outside, 2 coats, so I think that'll protect it for years to come now. So I got that all complete, and I ended up cleaning the paint off the rotor, and I varnished the rotor, and I made my dummy rectifier for the inside. So basically, I have 3 bolts here, and then I rounded out, I don't know if you could see that there, but I rounded out 3 holes there for the bolts to sit into. And when they sit nicely in there, it'll seal it, and I'll bolt that in there, and then my 3 wires will go in there with my 3-phase AC connector. And then I could reuse that rectifier down in the basement, and I don't have to buy another one. So I did this just to save $10, and I didn't want to wait for one to come in anyway. So then I'll hook this up, and then once this is hooked up inside, I'm going to varnish these connections to make sure that these don't get damaged from the weather too as well. All right guys, so I'm going to put it all back together, and I'm going to test it, and then I'll make a video later on with it working. So I think everything turned out good. Thanks guys.